Spencer is here for SunsetSpeedway.ca. I'm hanging out with a familiar face for many of the Sunset Speedway faithful, the prodigy Cayden Lapcevich, reigning Sunset Speedway Superstock track champion. You've had a dynamite season so far in the Superstock, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking all about the Leland 300 coming to Sunset Speedway next Saturday. I mean, first ever NCATS event. This is what the fans have been asking for. I mean, they've wanted for so long to see this series roll into Sunset, and now they get to see one of their favorites, one of the fan favorites, one of the reigning champions get to go to work. I mean, is this a huge deal for you? Is this something you've wanted to do for a long time?
Yeah, I think ever since me and Dad talked about getting me the NCATS car, I'm like, oh, it'd be so cool if they come to Sunset. Like, oh, that'd just be best shot, right? But you know, it's a new car, and I'm still adapting to it and everything, and you know, Sunset's a new track with this, so we don't have much data for it, and we never got to test there, so it's going to be a whole new learning experience to begin with, really.
Now, did you get some laps at Sunset in the NCATS car last year very briefly?
Yeah, I got, after Kawartha, my dad wanted to give me some seat time, so we went out there, did a little bit of test session, and it went really good, so I'm feeling pretty confident actually going into this weekend.
I mean, was there much that you were able to learn in that abbreviated session that you can sort of bring over and really use in terms of setup for next Saturday?
Yes and no. Like the Kawartha setup's quite a bit different than the Sunset setup, and we'd have the right gear in, and we had really old tires on, so I think yes, we did learn stuff about it, and but there's still stuff that we're going to learn on Saturday when we go out for practice.
I mean, when it comes to driving style and discipline and just general equipment preservation, how different are these cars from your Superstock? How do you have to approach things a little bit differently?
Well, with the Superstock, you know, there's not as much power, so you don't use as much brake, so you can sort of be on them a bit more all race, and well, they're only 30 laps, so. But you know, with the NCATS car, it's 300 laps with the same brakes, more horsepower, but you know, you're just really gonna have to save the tires and save the brakes going into that race, and just hope to be there at the end.
Now, you've never run more than 75 laps on a stock car. Is it going to be a completely different game for you when you roll out and get ready to go 300 laps behind the wheel of the NCATS ride at Sunset?
Yes, no, maybe so. You know, the late model race there, I didn't finish all the laps due to failure, but you know, 100 laps seemed to be all right. So I think if I can do that 2 more times, I should be all right. You know, I've been working on a little bit more running, getting my training up, getting my endurance up, so I'm there, you know. But tonight at Show Day will be the test, see if I can do the 300 laps. But you know, I think I can. I'm pretty confident I can, but we'll see how it all works out.
Now, you've been to some big events at Sunset. I mean, from you know the velocities that we've had some really big Don Biederman memorials. You had the modified out at in the modified portion of the Don Biederman. I mean, just races where the atmosphere has been crazy and the fan count's been crazy. How do you feel that's going to compare to what we have at Sunset next Saturday? I mean, is it even going to be close?
You know, the Supers get a huge turnout there, and I think the NASCAR Series is going to get enormous turnout. So I want to see those stands pumped and be able to put on a good show for the fans. I think it's going to be a really good show. I
mean, now that you've got to sort of go elsewhere and see the way some of the other tracks do it on the NCATS circuit, does it make you appreciate the atmosphere that we have at Sunset even more?
Yeah, here it's not as laid back as it is at Sunset. You know, you're always on the go. You're always changing the car. You're either going through tech, waiting for qualifying, going on for practice. It's not, and you only have a certain amount of time to do it all, or else you get docked. So, but at Sunset they're a little more laid back and everything. But here, you know, you got to be on top of things and know when you got to be in line and know what you got to do. And you know, it's all a learning experience for me.
Well, I can tell you're excited to get to Sunset and get this car on track. None of this happens without the people behind the scenes and the marketing partners and everybody else, so go ahead and show some love to the people that are making this happen for you.
I gotta thank Tim Hortons, Castro Edge, Springers Meats, Cathcart Trucking, Troy Cove Marine, Epic Racewear, Mom, Dad, Grandma's, Grandpa's. You know, I wouldn't get here without them, and my crew that spends so much hours at the shop. They're a big part of me getting to the racetrack every weekend, and you know, everybody that gives us funding, it's unbelievable. Thank you.
And of course, I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of cool behind-the-scenes photos leading up to Saturday night for the Leland 300 on your social media accounts.
Yeah, well, you said it now, so I got to.
We can do that, right?
Yeah.
That's the deal. I asked with the leading questions so that you have to say yes. Well, where can we see these cool behind-the-scenes shots to get everybody amped up for the Leland 300?
You'll see stuff on Instagram with things at Cayden Lapcevich, Twitter, also at Cayden Lapcevich. I'll try to keep the Facebook page updated, Cayden Lapcevich Racing, and I'm on my own Facebook page too. So
there you go, folks. He's pumped up. He's ready to go. We're actually just waiting to roll out onto the track at Autodrome Chaudière, so I had to grab him away from the drivers' meeting and get a quick word with him. Well, Cayden, all the best this week. We'll check back in with you at Sunset for round number 3 of the tour for the Leland 300. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next Saturday.
thanks.